Welcome to the SVG-TV news for Monday, March 7th. I'm Khalil Keita with the details. Health Minister Sinclair Jimmy Prince today acknowledged that there was an administrative oversight in sanitation workers being listed among frontline and other essential workers who were required to take the COVID-19 vaccines as part of the government's vaccination mandate, which took effect last year. His comments come in light of a memo written on February 23rd and made public today, in which the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health informed the Chief Environmental Health Officer that based on instructions given to the ministry, all permanent sanitation workers who are presently off the job, having not taken the COVID-19 vaccine, and are willing to return to work, shall be allowed to do so without the vaccine. Minister Prince told SVG-TV News in a telephone interview that the error was recently identified and as such, the memo was sent out.
There was an administrative error with respect to the sanitation workers. They were classified as frontline workers when they were not supposed to be under the law. We recently recognized the error and we instructed the PS and the environmental health officer to correct that error. They have done so. They are going to reinstate the workers, and of course we will have to pay them for the time that they were off. Those sanitation workers that were asked, who resigned because they didn't take the vaccine, they're not supposed to be on the frontline workers list. We didn't think that the law covered them as frontline workers because of the kind of work they do. So therefore, now that we found out, to be correcting it.
Minister Prince said the sanitation workers who are off the job for not taking the vaccines since the mandate came into effect will have to be compensated.
Well, they'll be paid. Listen, let's just put it that way. They will be paid for the time that they were off. That is just the only left out of pocket. Of course, we'll have to compensate them in that sense.
Commenting on the latest development, President of the Public Service Union, Elroy Boucher, called on the government to do the right thing and right their historical wrong without waiting on the court to decide on the legal challenge against its vaccination mandate. Boucher told SVG-TV News that, like the sanitation workers, the same courtesy should be extended to all government employees who lost their jobs and accrued benefits for failing to take the COVID-19 vaccine.
And it's a good move on the part of the government, and that is what should be happening to all dismissed workers, not just those at the sanitation. And we have the nurses, all the other civil servants, those at the customs, teachers, all of them should be recalled, sent back to their job with their full benefit. It is a call that we made when we wrote the government and asked them to undo this historic wrong. It is a wrong against workers. It's an injustice. And we urge the government, don't wait until the court make a decision, which we know is going to be in our favor. Do the right thing and give all of those dismissed workers back their jobs, just like what is happening now. Boucher
also noted that all government services were greatly impacted due to the vaccine mandate, which in itself shows that it was not a good decision.
The importance of teachers where our nation have been impacted, and all the other services within the public service, they have been impacted. The hospital, the healthcare service, nurses, and other technical people within the Ministry of Health have all been impacted, and therefore the service has been impacted. So this move by the Ministry of Health and by extension by the government is a good one, and it shows, of course, that no worker should have been dismissed for not being vaccinated. None. All over the globe, all of these mandates are being set aside by countries. They are being stopped. You are hearing that countries no longer require you to be vaccinated for this or that, for travel or for whatever. It shows that what the government really did, they really was not a call for it.
Boucher said the latest move suggests that there might be a possibility that other affected workers will be rehired.
Might indicate that that is the direction in which they actually go in. Or they have actually recognized that the original mandate, the decision to fire workers for not being vaccinated, was really flawed. and unnecessary. So we don't know, we don't have evidence that they are going to make the same offer immediately to other civil servants, but we hope that they do, and we urge them to do that.
The PSU president urges all public servants who were affected by the vaccine mandate to be patient as they await the court ruling, noting that there is hope at the end.
All of those workers who have suffered because of the government's mandate, there is hope. And if the government does not do the right thing and right this historical wrong, I am sure that the court will do it. So there is hope for them, and all we want them to do is to just be patient with us and patient with the court, because one way or the other, they will be going back to their jobs if they so desire to get back their jobs with all of their benefits.
COVID-19 cases in SVG have fallen significantly in the recent months, with active cases now at the single-digit 4. The latest update provided by the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment on Sunday indicates no new positive PCR or rapid antigen cases recorded for the reporting period. There's also 0 hospitalization due to COVID-19. 8,321 cases of COVID-19 and 6,632 recoveries have been recorded in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to date, with 106 deaths. 68,022 vaccines have been administered here thus far. 35,400 persons received their first dose, while 29,387 received their second, with 3,235 boosters administered. Taiwan's ambassador to SVG, Peter Shali Lan, handed over 10,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine to Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Sinclair Prince, at the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, today. Ambassador Lan said in an interview that the donation of the 10,000 doses of AstraZeneca, following the previous donations of rapid test kits, ventilators, oxygen concentrators, masks, and a variety of personal protective equipment, PPE, and medical supplies, is part of the commitment between the Republic of China, Taiwan, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines in jointly combating the COVID-19 pandemic. The government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, will continue to work with the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in various cooperations and promote the welfare of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Minister Prince, on behalf of the government, expressed sincere appreciation to the government and people of the Republic of China, Taiwan, for always being there when St. Vincent and the Grenadines faces challenges. He said the vaccines are in good hands and encouraged people to take the vaccines in hope to end the pandemic soon. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has given the assurance that all the necessary security procedures were followed to grant permission for a Russian-owned luxury vessel to dock in SVG's waters over the weekend. The appearance of Anna, a super yacht owned by Russian billionaire Dmitry Rybolovlev, at the Kingstown port stirred up much public discussion. PM Gonsalves, who was addressing the issue on WFM's Issues at Hand program on Sunday, said the government was given adequate notice by Antiguan port authorities about Anna's intended arrival to SVG, and they conducted thorough background checks.
You don't discriminate against somebody because they come from a different country unless you have something against them. Similarly, this gentleman who's in our waters on the Anna, this very expensive yacht, he was not on any list either by the European Union or Britain or America as any sanctions person. In fact, he wasn't carrying, when he came into our waters, he wasn't carrying a Russian passport, he was carrying a passport from Cyprus.
PM Gonsalves also revealed the owner of the vessel was not in SVG on business and has no ties with Russia in recent years. Also on radio on Sunday, Prime Minister Gonsalves continued to speak in favor of the planned quarry project in Richmond to be operated by the St. Lucian company Reno Construction Limited, a project which he reiterated will be financially beneficial to SVG.
And talk about the lease payment in respect of this lease which is the 30-year lease I'm talking about with the
We do in St. Lucia?
with the St. Lucian company. But for the first 7 years, and it will be reviewed after, they have to pay a throughput fee of $2 per ton. Mind. You see the point I'm making?
Yeah.
It's like a royal.
The Calico Anglican School has been chosen to work with a United Nations organization in celebrating International Women's Day this year. The school, being represented by grade 6 students Sadie Dopwell, Romana James, and Tiana Williams, are helping the Secretariat of the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, UNCCD, to highlight the role of women around the world in the protection of the planet's vital land resources. SVG-TV News caught up with the school's headmistress, Dr. Corsell Smith, earlier today, who expressed gratitude to the teachers who played a critical role in the school's selection for the project, and pointed out how vital it is to include women in agriculture.
And when women are involved, we'll have a better fed nation. So for this year, as we celebrate women in agriculture, I hope that more women will step up to the plate and get themselves involved. Not only in the physical activity, but it also gives you a good state of mind when you go into the land. And I trust that this celebration would make more women become aware of their role in feeding this world and reducing desertification, including making that there's enough water conservation, because when you have more greenery, you have more water.
Class teacher and students, that should be class teacher of the students and coordinator of the exercise, Lydia Pope, said it is of real significance that SVG was chosen for the exercise. She noted that SVG's land space is very limited, being a small island developing state, and that agriculture is central to our economy and food security, both of which depend on productive land.
For International Women's Day, celebrated on the 8th of March, the UNCCD is recognizing the role women play all over the world in protecting the land. These girls have been chosen to be ambassadors for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Land is really limited and we must protect it. So we celebrate all the hard-working women. I would also like to say thank you for the UNCCD, that's United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, for choosing Calico Anglican School and these wonderful girls to be ambassadors for St. Vincent.
The participating students also expressed their thanks for being chosen to be part of the project, which tells the story of a woman's role in sustainable land management.
Happy International Women's Day to all the women in the world, to all the hard-working women who help to preserve the land. We say a special thank you. We would also like to thank the UNCCD for choosing us to be ambassadors for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The UNCCD project is opened for the participation from women around the world. Vincentian women wishing to participate can visit the school's Facebook page for more information. A number of residents of Owiya in the red zone, whose homes were damaged during the recent volcanic eruption and passage of Hurricane Elsa, on Sunday were presented with building materials, including glass windows and galvanized, to help them with repairs. The materials, funded the UK-based organization SV2G, were presented to the residents by the community group, the Owiya Heritage Organization. The group leader, Ingrid Lavia, thanked SV2G for the donation and other support it has provided to the group for other community-held activities.
So these materials were given to us by organization way back in England. I got in contact with this lady, Jacqueline Roberts. I don't know her, she don't know me, but she got in contact with me because she wanted to give some assistance, okay? So her organization, SV2G, SVG second generation, out of England decided to donate these materials to us, okay? So we organized with couriers to get the materials, So she made the purchase and the materials were delivered to us by couriers. And so we are here this afternoon to hand over those materials to you. Okay, so we want to say a special thank you to this organization, and we have been working along with them from since the eruption. We were able to distribute 50 care packages early in the year that were also part of the distribution process of this organization. We had a Christmas party for the kids in December, and they were also part sponsors of the items for the program. So we have been doing well, and this organization wants to say thank you to them for all that they have done so far, and we look forward to working with them to continue development in this area, the Garifuna area. The organization is also made up of Garifuna persons, so they are interested in working with the people in this area, the Garifuna people. So I want to say thank you very much to them, to Ms. Jacqueline Roberts and her team for giving us these materials. And I hope that they're going to be of use to those persons who have minor damages during the volcanic eruption and the Hurricane Elsa. All right?
Fenton Hills will be given a facelift as the government gears up to carry out a special enhancement project in the area. Speaking on a recent morning talk show television program by the Agency for Public Information recently, MP for the West St. George constituency, Curtis King, said Fenton holds great potential that could be enhanced and added to SVG's tourism basket.
Kept making the point during the campaign that, look, Fenton as an area has great potential. It is our agricultural basket. It is a potential tourist. I want to use a term basically to show that it would be one of the major tourism projects.
King further noted that aside from its tourism high points, Fenton could also potentially aid with water supply because of its many rivers and streams.
Waterfalls because of the river. Again, that area can also assist us in terms of our water supply, because you're talking about the possibility of future development by the CWSA in that area in terms of our water storage capacity and that kind of thing, and sourcing of water generally.
Police here are investigating a series of thefts that occurred at Saline Bay on Mairo on Saturday, March 5th. The police say, according to reports, between Friday and Saturday, on 3 separate occasions, an unknown person or persons reportedly stole 3 gray and red Yamaha 2-stroke 40 horsepower outboard engines, 2 cigarette boats, and a quantity of fishing gear. The items have a total value of $47,305 EC dollars and were stolen from 3 residents of Mairo. Persons with information that can assist with the investigation are asked to contact the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of crimes at 456-1339 or the officer in charge of the Grenadines Division at 457-1211 or any police station or police officer you're comfortable with. Police say all information will be treated confidentially. And police have arrested and charged Rafik Edwards, a 33-year-old laborer of Chauncey, with the offenses of gun possession, possession of an unlicensed firearm, and unlicensed ammunition without a license issued under the Firearms Act. Police say, according to their investigations, at about 9:45 on Friday, March 4th, members of the Rapid Response Unit, the RRU, were on mobile patrol duties about the Lomans Leeward Public Road when the accused was allegedly met with one Arminius revolver and 7 rounds of .32 ammunition in his possession. He was subsequently arrested and charged for the offenses. He was granted composite bail in the sum of $12,000 with 2 sureties. He was ordered to report to the Kettle's Public Police Station every Friday between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and he was also ordered to surrender all travel documents, and stop notices were placed at all ports of entry and exit. The matter was adjourned until April 14th.